Hey everybody, it's Cynthia Porter with Visit Winona. Todd Hansen is running the camera, and we are at such a cool event right now. Something that I never heard of before. However, my handy cameraman and marketing assistant Todd knows well because he's a Pez head. We are at Pez on the River. It's a Pez collectors convention. Who knew there was such a thing? But it's a big thing. I mean, like, it's a big thing. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna take a look around. This is so special. It's one of only a handful of these conventions that happen in the country. There's also, I was talking to someone earlier, there's conventions and there's gatherings. This is a convention. Dealers and collectors come from all over the place. There's other conventions in Michigan, Cleveland. Is that right, Todd?
Yeah.
And in the East Coast and somewhere else, more south or something. But this is the only convention in Minnesota and the only convention, you know, for really 500 miles around us. So let's go take a look. It's crazy stuff. So I don't know if you remember, but I remember being a little kid and eating the little Pez things, right? Just to be clear what we're talking about. Pez. Put the candy in, and then it goes like, and it spits the candy out, and the candy's not even really that great. I mean, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Todd is rejecting. I mean, this, you know, I don't know. I kind of like the sour candies more than the little sweet ones, but anyway. Oh, wait a second. Oh, these are free. Now, why are those free? So they're free because these ones are so common that there's billions and gazillions and gazillions of them. But there are Pez containers, what's the right word?
Dispensers.
Dispensers in this room that are so special that they sell for the tens to the hundreds, and in some cases, Pez dispensers sell for thousands of dollars. Can you believe it? Let's look. We're just gonna take a look. So I should turn the camera around and make Todd do this because he is a Pez head, which means I heard him talking earlier. He was collecting, oh look at these, are so cute. He was collecting Pez dispensers when he was in high school. And he has some pretty special ones. I happen to know that because we saw a Pez during one of our Facebook Lives at Treasures Under Sugarloaf, a little nurse Pez dispenser that was selling for $125 or something like that. And he said, yeah, I have that one, but she doesn't have the little cross on her hat or something like that. And so this is a serious business. Like, just show them some of these, like, character theme ones. Just about any pop culture reference, I think any pop culture reference that you've ever heard of, there's a Pez dispenser for it. So, I don't understand I don't understand why these Hello Kitties are $18 and why this one in my pocket is free, but apparently it has to do with how many were made. There's sometimes like one color is super rare, or it's an accident, or they were only distributed in Europe. I learned a little bit about Pez from Todd, and that little kernel of information is this. Pez actually started out as a little breath mint dispenser in Europe, in Austria, in 1927, right, Tom? Mm-hmm. And it was called a pfefferminz, and it dispensed little mints for people who were trying to quit smoking. And then it came to the United States in the 1950s, and somebody said, wow, you should make these for kids. And so instead of putting just mints in there, they started to put these little sweet candies in there, and they put little heads on top of them to make them.
Yeah,
So
there used to be
what happened next is this. So the heads started here, but they exist now all over the world.
she's still there.
I don't even know where to go. There's too much stuff in this room. Here, let's walk over here. Sometimes you'll see at these, collectors tables, there's other assortments of things that just kind of come along with the collecting theme. So like these little toys, another one had some little toys, and he explained to me what happens sometimes is that you go to a collector and they just want to sell their entire inventory of everything that they have. So in some cases, if they're getting out of the business, maybe they're retiring or something like that. And so what comes along with it is just other little things that are fun to collect, fun to have, but not nearly as important as these kinds of things. I want to show you over here something that I saw that's so cool. So I was talking to a fellow named Jim, and Jim is from Michigan. He actually he puts on the Michigan convention, and Jim talked to me for a long time about just the spirit of pets. It turns out it's not about the candy, Todd. And it's not about even the dispensary, really. It's about this environment. This is like a strange, dispenser-fueled family of people that travel all over the country to see each other. These collectors have known each other for decades. In some cases, they've become best friends. In a lot of cases, I saw Todd talking to these folks over here for a long time earlier. I'm not sure what about, but I have a pretty good idea that it's about pets.
It was about pets, yeah.
And we won't go to that table because it's really crowded. But I'm going to show you. Oh, Jim's not at his table, but I'm going to show you a couple things at Jim's table that I thought were pretty cool. Like this. There's this whole. I said, why is this $200? Show them this. And so it turns out this was a show that Netflix did in Spain. It was translated for English. I forgot now what the English name of it was. Oh, somebody has a dog. But it was all these villains that had a different name of like Portugal or Dubai or whatever as their secret names, and they were robbing the Spanish mint. And Pez created an entire set of each of those characters, and it has their name going down the side of it. $200 for this set. I think there's 9 in here, but that's not even that much. For example, Jim, who was sitting here a little bit ago, told me about a case early in his Pez collecting life where he walked into. So what they do at these conventions is they take over a hotel, and the Pez distributors or collectors or sellers or vendors have hotel rooms, and they display all their Pez stuff, and that's where most of the stuff goes. This event right here is what's open to the public, but they've been doing this for several days here as part of the more internal convention. So you can go to different hotel rooms and see what they have, and then make deals for certain things that they're looking for. I mean, like somebody could be looking for this, they could have looked all over the world for this little thing. Hey, there's Jim. So Jim, I was just really quick, the story about the 20 and the lady and the cash and when you went into a hotel room and she...
Oh yeah, so my first time at the convention, they had all the displays up. The lady came in and bought 4 plastic boxes, and she was looking at them, and the guy said, she's like, what do I owe you? He says, oh, give me 20. And I'm like, oh, she's going to pay $20. She pulled up $20,000 out of the backpack and paid the guy $20,000 for 4 Pez dispensers. So at that point, I was like, I'm in. So Pez dispensers can go for crazy amounts of money. I mean, I've seen Pez dispensers sell for, we just had one go for $50,000. They had one for $50,000. This is one that exists. It's owned by a guy out in California. He's got a massive collection. Actually, he bought it from the guy who used to be the CEO of Funko, who was a big collector, Brian Mariotti. And then Brian Mariotti got out of it, and he sold it to a collector in California. He went to Austria to get it from a lady. That's obviously a higher end dispenser. But you can get into like vending machines. I mean, the vending machines cost about $8,000.
Yeah, you have one.
Yeah, so I have one of those. Some of the displays, the European displays, I mean, you can get upwards of $2,500 for getting that stuff over here, but even shipping costs. So depending on what that item costs, you got to add shipping. Mm-hmm. So seeing that European stuff over here, like I have a vending machine that dispenses candy that actually in the 70s hung in a train station in Germany. So having that come over, you pay the price of the item, but whoever brought that item over, they want to make their money on the $500 it costs or whatever it costs to ship that item here.
Yeah.
So getting some of that unique European stuff, because obviously as being from Austria, you saw a lot of influx in Europe versus here in the States.
Yeah.
Because Pez only came to the States in the 50s. So Pez has been around since 1927. So some of that older, rarer stuff that comes in Europe with, you know, companies and relationships, and you know, now this international people traveling, now you're seeing more of that stuff come over into the States, and then finding it at shows like this, not just the American stuff. So you come to shows and you can buy a dig box, you know, $6 for $1, or you can go up to somebody's table and everything they're selling is upwards of $100 or $1,000.
How many Pez do you have?
So currently at my house right now I have about 300,000 Pez. So in my personal collection I probably have 6,000 to 7,000 different items. But then I have two warehouse rooms of trading, you know. So I've traded Pez or sold Pez, or however you want to look at it, in about 40 different countries, about 36 states. But you know, this, you know, like we were talking about earlier, obviously Pez is awesome, but it's also a relational thing. It's about relationships and community, and Pez is so true. The donations, you know, the amount of money raised for charity. So something that you'd see on my table that maybe is $100 at a charity auction, that same item might sell for $300, just because that person buying it knows that it's going to be for a good cause, right? So that's an awesome community of people. And I mean, these are some of your closest friends that you only see 3 times a year, 4 times a year at different conventions. So a lot of times when we come to these things, we want to open it up to the general public, say, hey, come and see what this is all about. And then you start having people come into this, and it's like, wow, these people are really fun. And they're like, I'm going to pick up a couple. And then a couple turn it into a 10, 100, and then they become a collector.
See,
and then,
I picked up
there
one.
You go. You're hooked. You're hooked. So now you're in, right? You need the giant one to match. So I'm going to give you that. Yes, I'm giving it to you. So now you have the giant to match the mini. So when you own more than one, now you're a collector. So
Yeah, you're a collector now.
Collector pet. So chances are you'll come back next year, even if you're not doing the story, because now you're going to come to your friends, right?
Right, and I have to put more Pez.
Exactly. Yeah, so you put the whole pack in there, and then you dispense the pack. So what you do is you dispense the pack out of there, and then you put it into the sister. There you go. You're hooked now, see? This was well, right? It's about relationships, it's about friendships. Like, these are plastic toys, right? But it's about, you know, meeting new people and having relationships and friendships.
Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing. See you next year.
Thanks,
See you
Jim.
next year, Jim. This down here. This is my favorite. What in the holy heck?
But it's a tie-dye t-shirt.
These are all presidents. I don't know if I would like my head on a Pez. I don't know. Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you need a little primer on who the presidents are, get this. $200 with lights. You can put it on your wall. Teach your kids who the presidents are using Pez. So why Winona? Winona is the location of this because there used to be one that was happening in Minneapolis for a number of years. And then the people in Minneapolis weren't going to claim it anymore. The women who took it over live closer to Winona. They live in Trempealeau. And so they said, Winona, they did try it in La Crosse one year, but said no, it's Winona. This is a Winona thing because Winona is a little unusual, right? It's a little loud. Here, we'll walk out this door to finish up. So they said, you know, Winona is the right spot for this kind of a thing because let's face it, Winona is a little bit quirky, and this is right up our alley. So anyway, next year, Pez on the river here in Winona. I think it's the same time every year, right, Todd?
Yeah, now they're doing it in September every year.
September every year. So thank you for coming along with us on this journey. And look at what I got. Oh my God. Does this make you a Pez head? Not yet.
I think, yeah, you got two. So like you said, you're a collector now. So
That's so funny. I don't know how I feel about that because I already defamed the candies and said I didn't like them. But every week we go wherever you tell us to go. Whatever cool is going on, we're going to go there and give you a Facebook Live look around. Thanks for coming on this journey. Where we're going to go next week, I don't know. Send us your ideas and we're going to put it on our list and we're going to go there and take a look around. Cynthia Porter, Todd Hansen for Visit Winona. See y'all next week. Bye, everybody.